Today, let's talk about some of the things that people fear. What we're going to discuss today is fear of the unknown. Many years ago, when I was still a very young boy, a friend of mine said to me, "I wish I can just sleep and not wake up till the day I will become rich. I don't know how long I would have to struggle and wait before I finally make money. If I can just sleep and wake up the day, it will be so wonderful." That was what my dear friend said. My dear friend was suffering from fear of the unknown. So many people are haunted by the fear of the unknown. This is unnecessary and is a very negative way of approaching life. Maybe you are a young woman past the age of 25. You begin to wonder whether you will ever get married one day. The thought of whether you will be married to a rich or a poor man begins to invade your mind. If your dream is getting married, you should simply walk towards it and believe it. Believe that it will happen instead of focusing on the negative. If you allow the fear of not getting married to dominate your thoughts, it will certainly find a way to manifest in your life. So get rid of such fears. You just graduated from college or university, and due to the fact that so many people that graduated before you have no job, you also conclude in your mind that this is going to be your experience. It doesn't have to be your experience. Believe that somehow, some way, we get a good job or go into business and be successful. That it happened to others is not a guarantee that it will happen to you. Don't attract that which you do not like by dwelling on it. Reject the fear. Think differently. Your own case and situation can be different. Be fearless. You have just gotten married successfully, and after 6 months or 1 year, you are yet to become pregnant. You become very apprehensive and unsure of the future. You begin to doubt whether you and your spouse can ever have children of your own. There is no need to be afraid or panic. Why you should take every positive step to get pregnant. Never allow fear or doubt take control of your life. It is unnecessary and will complicate or even make your situation worse. Do your part. Let God handle it and let the universe bring it to pass. You will be surprised how things fall into place. I remember a story that someone told me a few weeks ago. This story is an example of how someone can attract the undesired by allowing their fear to take root in their mind. This lady told me of a dear friend of hers who is always afraid that she might not have children even before she got married. When she eventually got married, she spent more than 2 years before she became pregnant and had a baby. That was the consequence of her fear. You have just started a new business, but you are not certain whether this business will succeed. Even though you have put a lot of money and energy trying to establish this business, you are still unsure whether this business will eventually become a success. You are afraid of what will happen to you if this business fails. The truth is that with this kind of attitude, this person may never succeed in business. He has failed in his mind, and it is only a question of time before the actual failure manifests in his business. Your husband, wife, or kids are out of the home, and you are wondering whether they are safe where they are. You become unnecessarily very apprehensive and worried about their safety. You begin to think whether this or that has happened to them. Sometimes we wrongly think that the safety of our loved ones is in our hands. You cannot stop any evil from happening to your loved ones by worrying, but you might end up attracting your worst fears by your wrong attitude. Even though it is important to do our best to ensure the safety of our loved ones, we must learn to resist any kind of fear as regards their safety. We must learn to entrust their lives to God, who is the ultimate protector of all mankind. Somebody is sick and needs medical attention. Instead, this person resorts to seers, prophets, and witch doctors to find out who is after his or her life, because some of these people want to rip you off. They complicate matters for you by telling you the sickness is not ordinary. They will tell you to act fast if you do not want to die. And acting fast most of the times means bringing money for them to solve the problem instead of going for medical checkup or treatment. They might point to a relation, friend, neighbor, or landlord who is at the root of your problem. Confused and misled by this fear, you lose faith in medical attention and also lose faith in your ability to recover from the illness. You wrongly believe that someone somewhere is holding you, and that is why you are sick. Instead of taking appropriate care of your health and believing God for your recovery, you believe that a human being or evil forces are the cause of your sickness. Learn to trust God with your life. Do not let the fear of the unknown rob you of the good life you should have. While I am not disputing the fact that some illnesses might be as a result of witchcraft or other evil forces, however, the fear of the unknown can make you think anytime you are sick that this must be an arrow from an enemy. It is not in all cases that witchcraft or evil forces are involved. That is the point that I want to make. Moreover, why should you give evil forces a fertile ground to operate by living in fear? This is an error. People are killing themselves every day by living with the fear of the unknown, entertaining wrong thoughts, and creating unnecessary anxiety where none exists. Let me tell you a story. One of my very good friends told me the man he was talking about was very close to him. In fact, the man was like a father to him. The man he was talking about traveled from Nigeria to Germany some time ago in search of greener pastures. He was in his early 50s. Immediately, the plane landed in Germany. The man became very afraid and regretted why he left Nigeria for this strange place. He noticed that their weather, language, and the people looked entirely different from what he was used to in Nigeria. He thought of the big task of looking for a job in this new city where he hardly knew anybody. Everything seemed so confusing and complicated to him. On his first day in Germany, he concluded that he would never make it in this city, and that the best thing for him to do was to board the next available flight and return to Nigeria. He had successfully made it to Germany, had passed all the airport security checks, but was still not sure of himself. The next day he boarded a flight and deported himself back to Nigeria. What a story. Please judge for yourself whether this man is a foolish or a wise man. You may quarrel with this man and say, you are so foolish to have done that. However, if you are always afraid of the unknown and hastily take wrong decisions due to fear of the unknown, you are in no way different to this man. Another story was told of a man who got a visa to go to America. On the day he was to leave Nigeria, he went to the airport. At the airport, he was cleared and his visa was confirmed as genuine. So he waited for the time the passengers would start boarding the plane. When the time came, he saw the plane and started shouting. This is what he said. Are you sure this plane is in good condition? Are you sure that this aeroplane will take us safely to America? I've heard how aeroplanes do crash and I don't want to be involved in one. Fellow passengers and the crew tried to calm him down, telling him there was no reason to be afraid, that the aeroplane was airworthy and had been certified by engineers. But their words fell on deaf ears. they sounded like deception to him. Please give me back my luggage. I am no longer traveling to America. I don't want to die yet. This plane may crash on the way and I will die. I am no longer going. I am no longer going. He protested. He ran off from the airport and told everybody that cared to listen that he was no longer interested in the journey to America because he was afraid that the plane might crash. The aeroplane eventually took off without him, and after several hours on air, it landed on the transit airport safely. Finally, the passengers left the transit airport and every one of them landed safely in America. This guy missed a lifetime opportunity to go to America because he was afraid of the unknown. He had allowed his doubts and fears to alter his destiny. So many people are like that. Instead of being inspired by their dreams, they allow the fear of the unknown control their thoughts and actions. When my university admission expired for 2 years and I did not know the possibility of going back to school again, it looked like the end of the world had come. My classmates were in third year in the university and I was uncertain about my education. My father mocked me and said, "You are stubborn and refuse to listen. That is why things aren't working for you." So I said, "Don't conclude yet about my life. It's not yet over. I will prove you wrong someday." I was 23 years at the time. My future seemed uncertain, but I trusted God and refused to fear the unknown. Not long after that, I bounced back to school. I not only bounced back to school, but I got the Shell Nigerian University scholarship. There was a time, even after I graduated from the university, that things like getting a job, going into business, renting an apartment, and things like that were so far-fetched. For years, I struggled to break out of the cocoon of poverty. I could not imagine having a decent living. It was very difficult at first, but I remained very tough and refused to give in to fear of the unknown. Then, gradually, I began to subdue the storms. I found success, prosperity, and happiness. I began to fulfill some of my dreams. Remember that this mentorship contains 23 video series. To participate and watch all video series, step 1, visit our website www.schoolofsuccessonline.com. Step 2, log in if you are an existing member or click register to register as a new member. Step 3, click on the link payment on top page of our website. Pay 1,500 naira monthly access fee or 12,000 naira yearly access fee to our bank account through bank transfer or direct deposit to upgrade to a gold or diamond membership. Step 4, notify us of the payment through SMS on 0904 601 5183 or any number on our website. Name, date paid, amount, bank paid. Within a few hours, your membership will be upgraded. Step 5, log in with your username and password on the site anytime you choose. Go to categories and click on mentorship to gain access to the videos. For sponsorship or support, please contact 0904 601 5183. Follow us on Facebook, Motivation Niger. Our Twitter handle is @Fidelis Anene.